So listen, last class what we were discussing, we saw for RL circuit, right? We saw for an RL series circuit, we saw a word called as power factor, right? So today I'm going to discuss about the concept of power factor. So see, today's class is very important. Concentrate. Okay, if there is any doubt, get prepared. Somebody is there.
Sir, again it came with my name, that yellow one, sir.
Now you're there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope no one is sharing the ID. Okay. So last class I introduced a term called as power factor, right? So power factor is equal to R divided by Z. You guys remember this, right? So is there any doubt from previous class which you want me to explain again? Is there anything that is not clear while solving the problem you faced issues? Okay. Can I proceed then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So cos phi is equal to R divided by Z. I introduced a concept called as impedance triangle. Now, let's see.
Sir,
1 minute. Yeah, tell me.
it seems Armukesh is waiting, sir.
Okay, ask him to enter now.
Yes, sir.
Says you are unable to rejoin this meeting because your previous is removed by the host. Send another link.
checking the meeting. Yeah. So we saw what is impedance triangle, right? Now listen. So are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So write down. Now we will discuss about the instantaneous power. Okay. So because last class I introduced the concept of power factor to understand what a power factor is in the first place. Okay. So the following points you need to understand. What is power factor? What do you mean by this lagging and leading? See, till now I told you only this concept of lagging and leading. But I didn't explain why this is happening and all those things, right? So we will see what is the main objective of the chapter. Everything comes from the concept of power. Okay? That is the main objective, what we are going to see. See, generally, what does power mean? The electrical power, what does it mean? What is it we have learned in DC?
Rate of
So it is rate of dissipation of energy. Okay, that is, or you can say the amount of work done per unit time. That is also okay. Can I call it as the product of, right? I'm talking about electrical power. Can I call it as the product of voltage and current? So power is equal to V into I. Can I call it like this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is what is going to happen. Now, this is what we saw in DC. So V stands for the constant DC, sorry, constant voltage, and I stands for the constant current. So that is the DC current, right? So power is equal to V into I. Then what does this instantaneous power mean? See, the concept of instantaneous itself means it is a function of time, right? So we know that E is equal to E naught sine omega t, and I can write it as I naught sine of omega t plus phi, where that phi can either be plus pi by 2 or minus pi by 2, or it can be any other value also, like how we got in this problem. For example, tan phi is equal to xl divided by r, where it is some random value, right? So how do I define the instantaneous power as? So instantaneous power is what? It is E into I, where E is the instantaneous potential difference and I is the instantaneous current. Can I call it like this? So this will be E naught sine omega t into I naught sine omega t plus phi. Can I write it like this? So this will be equal to E naught into I naught. It is sine omega t into sine of omega t plus phi. Can I write it like this? Now see, I will multiply and divide it with 2. Okay. So this will be E naught into I naught divided by 2. Now, what is this value going to give us?
Sine to omega t.
So it is, no. It is 2 sine A sine B. There are 4 formulae in trigonometry, right? Sine of A plus B plus sine of A minus B. What is it? This 2 sine A cos B. Similarly, sine of A plus B minus sine of A minus B is equal to 2.
Cos A sin B.
You know this formula, right? Similarly, what do you need to do to get 2 sines?
Cos
You do
Cos A
plus
cos of
B
plus
minus
B
minus
minus of cos
of
A.
A minus B.
This will give me what?
Minus 2
Minus 2
sine
sine A
A
sine A sine B.
sine B.
Okay. If I want only 2 sine A sine B, what should I do?
cos of
Minus
A.
Cos of A minus B minus cos of A plus B.
Yes. So we need to subtract the terms and then add them. So cos of A minus B means what? It is omega t plus phi minus omega t minus cos of A plus B. That is omega t plus phi. Okay. So this omega t and omega t will go. So this will be E naught into I naught divided by 2 into cos phi minus cos of 2 omega t plus phi. Is this clear till this step? Is it clear till this step?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is going to be what power? This is the instantaneous power. Okay. So this is going to give us the instantaneous power. I'm removing all these things. Right. So this will be E naught into I naught divided by 2. Let it be like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the average power of AC over a complete cycle. See, what the average power of AC over a complete cycle is? It is integral of, right? So it is integral of 0 to T instantaneous power dt the whole divided by T. So this is going to be the average value of power over the complete cycle. Did you guys understand? It is similar to how we calculated the average value of EMF. So there what did I do? Instantaneous value of EMF with respect to time between 0 to T by 2 divided by T by 2. In a similar way, we are trying to calculate it over a complete cycle. Is there any doubt in this step?
no, sir.
Okay. So then average power will be equal to, observe, in the place of instantaneous EMF, power, can I write it as E naught I naught divided by 2 into cos phi minus cos of 2 omega t plus phi dt integral of 0 to T the whole divided by T. Now what all will come out of the integral? E naught I naught divided by 2T into integral of 0 to T cos phi dt minus integral of 0 to T cos of 2 omega t plus phi. Okay. So this will be E naught I naught divided by 2T into this cos phi also, if it is coming out, what is the integral of dt over 0 to T? It is capital T minus, okay, minus integral of cos function or sine function over a complete cycle is always 0. Since integral of cos of some function over a complete cycle is always 0. If you want, you can integrate and see, you will get the same answer. So then this will be, P average will be equal to E naught I naught divided by 2T into cos phi multiplied with T. So this T and T will get cancelled. So E naught I naught by 2 into cos phi. Okay. So the average value of EMF will be equal to, observe, can I write E naught as E naught by 2 as E naught by root 2 into I naught by root 2 into cos phi? Can I write it like this?
Yes, sir.
So what is this
Yes,
E naught? What is this E naught by root 2 called as?
ERMS.
ERMS.
ERMS into I naught by root 2 is called as IRMS, and this cos phi is what is called as the power factor. So the average value is calculated as ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. Are you guys able to understand this? So I'll give you 2 minutes time. You can go through this.
Sir, can you scroll it up a little bit? Yeah, fine.
So from the value of instantaneous power, we calculated the average power over how much? A complete cycle. If you calculate average value of EMF or current, you will calculate it over average value of EMF and current are calculated over with how much cycle?
Half cycle.
Half cycle. Whereas instantaneous power is calculated over a complete cycle.
Can you scroll down, sir?
Make a note of it fast. Is there any conceptual doubt in it? Did you guys understand the derivation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'll proceed to the next concept. Anyways, I'll share this PDF like today. So it is ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. Okay. So ERMS means it is the equivalent DC value. You remember, right? IRMS means it is also the equivalent DC value, and this cos phi is the most important one. Now let's understand what does this phi stand for. Phi is the phase difference between whom? Phase difference between the EMF and current. Okay. Now, for purely resistive circuit, what is the average power? ERMS into IRMS. Now recollect, how much is the value of phase difference between EMF and current? Is the current lagging or leading the voltage, or is it in the same phase?
Same phase.
Same phase means how much is
Same
the value?
phase.
Phi is how much? Same phase means
0.
0.
0 degrees. Right. So this will be equal to ERMS into IRMS. So this is going to be the average value of AC over a complete circle had it been connected across a purely resistive circuit. Is it clear? So we know the formula again. We know the formula already, right? In the case of DC, I started with that concept only. In the case of DC, you will just multiply the voltage and the current, right? Here, what is the equivalent voltage that we have? ERMS into IRMS. It is the same formula. Only thing is, you're taking the values from the AC, that's it. Similarly, for purely inductive circuit, what is the value of phi?
90.
Pi by 2, right?
Okay.
So P average is equal to ERMS into IRMS into cos of how much? Pi by 2. Answer will be 0. Okay. Similarly, for pure capacitive,
Zero.
right? So what we are trying to say from this is, if you connect an AC source across a purely inductive circuit or a capacitive circuit, what is the average power consumed by them? The average power consumed by them is 0. Okay, you're able to understand. So there will be no dissipation of power that is taking place. Whereas, which electronic component has the capacity to dissipate the energy? It is a resistor. Are you guys able to understand? So why this is happening, now I'm going to explain it. So if you're clear with this concept, I'll explain you the main part. See, the one which I'm going to explain is not there in textbook, or okay, it's not there in textbook, and nowhere you will find it detailed. So please concentrate and listen to it. I'm going to explain what is the meaning of this. So listen to it carefully. Why we are studying the chapter, you will understand from this. Okay. Now listen. See, till now I gave you all the mathematical expressions of finding the instantaneous values of power, right? Let's try to visualize what that means actually. Now listen. So I'm going to discuss about 2 points. Listen. I'm going to discuss about a source, and I'm going to discuss about a load. Okay. So what do you mean by source? Source is that component which supplies energy, right? For example, see, when I say source, you take it as the electricity board. So from the through the transmission lines, the electricity board is supplying the energy to us, and who is utilizing it? We are utilizing it, right? So all the electrical components in our house, let us call it as a load. So the one which is utilizing the energy. I hope this point is clear, right? Now, we learned different diagrams. We learned the different graphs, right? See, if suppose I give you a graph like this, even without me mentioning what it is, what will you say?
Purely resistive.
So this is when you are connected an AC source across a purely resistive device, right? Now observe, if suppose I take this point, the yellow point you're able to see, right? It's not too light. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me change the color. Okay, I'm taking blue. So this point you're able to see, right? Now tell me one thing. The first blue dot, the one where I'm circling now, the first blue dot and the second blue dot. So what does the first blue dot represent?
EMF at
EMF.
that time.
So what EMF? It is the instantaneous EMF. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the second dot represents the instantaneous
Current.
current, right? If suppose I multiply the instantaneous EMF and instantaneous current, what am I going to get?
Power.
Power.
I get
Instantaneous power.
I get instantaneous power by multiplying these two. Now tell me one thing, this instantaneous value and this instantaneous value, are they positive or negative?
Positive.
They are positive, right? Means if I try to find any 2 points corresponding, means if I draw a line vertical like this, I will be able to find an instantaneous voltage and its corresponding instantaneous current, such that if I multiply both of them, I'm going to get a positive value from where to where? Between 0 to T by 2, anywhere, right? I've drawn only one complete cycle. So can I say, if I try to plot a graph for power for both, then can I say it will be something like this? Can I say it will be something like this? Are you guys able to see the dotted lines?
Yes, sir.
So the power is going to be a positive value, but that will also be some kind of a sinusoidal function, because you are going to write it as a sum of two sinusoidal functions or something. I've just randomly drawn it. Now, what is going to happen in the second half of the cycle? That is negative half cycle. What we have? I take a value. If I drop a vertical, then I get the corresponding instantaneous EMF and the corresponding current. So EMF and current in this case, is it positive or negative? Both
Negative.
are negative, right? So when I multiply both again, what am I going to get? I'm going to get a positive value. So whether you talk about the positive half cycle or the negative half cycle, if I try to calculate the instantaneous power, its value is always coming out to be a positive value. So if I take this as the instantaneous power, it is coming out as positive value. I hope this is clear. Right?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Now listen. If I draw the same graph for, if I'm drawing like this, if I want to draw it for a purely capacitive circuit, for a purely capacitive circuit, what will happen? The current is leading or lagging the voltage?
Leading, sir.
So the current is leading means where should I start it from? I should start it from here.
Right.
I hope this point is also clear, right? Now I'm taking. So if I draw a vertical line, here the EMF is positive and here the current is positive. So what do I get? I get a positive value of instantaneous power. So E and I, this is time. Is it clear? At this point also it is going to be positive. Now, till where will this be positive? So till this point, what is this point, guys? This is T by 4.
T by 4.
2 by 4.
T by 4. So till T by 4, if I try to find the instantaneous value, it is going to come out as a positive value. So if I try to draw a separate graph for instantaneous power, till T by 4, it is going to come out as a positive value. Now what will happen after T by 4? After T by 4, if I draw a vertical line, I am able to observe that the EMF is negative and the current is positive. Right? So what is supposed to happen?
Instantaneous power will be negative.
Negative.
So the instantaneous power is going to be 0. Okay? I mean negative, sorry. So if I take it like this, maybe if I get it like this, the instantaneous power is going to become negative. Till where? Till this point.
T by 2.
T by 2. So if I draw up a perpendicular, so till T by 2 it is going to be negative. Somehow it has to come to positive value again. Okay, again it will go in this way. So if I try to draw the graph between power and time, what is it I'm able to understand? That the instantaneous power at a particular location is coming out as negative. Similarly, if I draw for a capacitor, what do you think will happen? It will be something similar only. Sorry, if I draw it for an inductor or purely inductive circuit, what do I get? I'll get some values where the instantaneous power is greater than 0 and some values where the instantaneous power is less than 0. Are you guys able to understand? Right. So you're able to understand why this positive and negative is coming, right?
Yes,
It's purely
sir.
because you're multiplying the corresponding EMF and the current at that particular instant. So for a, in the case of a purely resistive circuit, what is happening? The power is always
Instantaneous power is always positive.
positive, right? It is always going to be above the x-axis. Whether it is going to be positive half cycle or negative half cycle, it is always going to be above. Whereas here you get positive and negative. Now the question that you're supposed to answer is, what do you mean by positive value of instantaneous power? What do you mean by negative value of instantaneous power? Okay. So I'm going to use different terms now, concentrate. So the terms that I'm going to introduce now is applicable only to alternating current. It is not applicable to DC. Okay. Can you guess what do you think? What do you mean by power being positive? What do you mean by instantaneous power being positive?
So something that supplies and something that utilizes.
Okay. You're almost there. Sorry, I didn't get you.
Purely resistive.
Okay. Purely resistive is positive. Then what do you mean by the, see, I'm telling at certain instances only, at certain instances for a purely capacitive circuit only, the power instantaneous is negative. Not every time. So I'm asking, when there is a particular instant where the instantaneous power is 0, what are they trying to tell us? What is that mathematical equation trying to tell us with respect to the whole circuit?
The phase change.
Phase change. Phase change is happening everywhere. That has nothing to do with the phase change, because
A
you're
change
saying for purely capacitive circuit, the phase difference is pi by 2. Phase is not a function of time. Had it been pi by 2 times t, what you're changing is phase shift. Can happen.
Sir,
Not
resistor
happen.
can't be, resistance can be negative, so power is
Resistor can't be.
resistance can't be negative, so power is
Okay.
positive.
Okay, but what about this thing? You mean to say inductance can be negative? That's not the case, right?
Sir, is the instantaneous current 0?
No, instantaneous current 0 means the power should be 0. Instantaneous, because I'm saying instantaneous power is nothing but product of instantaneous current and instantaneous EMF. See,
Yeah.
observe. So this is what is going to happen. When I say the power is positive, the power taken by the circuit is positive, it means that the current is flowing from the source to the load. Whereas, wherever at any instant, if the power is negative, it means that the power is flowing back from the load to the source. Okay, you might think how this is happening. So, now let's analyze what this lagging and leading means. Now you'll understand why we are calling it as lagging and leading. Okay, and also the power factor. So concentrate very clearly. So are you guys able to understand? When I say instantaneous power is greater than 0, the power is taken from the source to the load. Whereas when I say the instantaneous power is negative, then the power is taken back from the load to the source. Is this possible? Yes, it is possible. Okay. Now observe. Now depending on that, I'm going to define different parameters. Observe. If the power is flowing from the source to load. So if there is any device that can only take and utilize the power, that kind of a device is a resistor. So till now, what did we learn about the resistor? Resistor will dissipate the energy in the form of heat when it is run, when you try to run the current through it for a longer amount of time. So it has the tendency to dissipate. Never till now have we learned the concept saying that energy stored in a resistor. Did you learn anywhere? We would have learned about the energy stored in a capacitor and the energy stored in an inductor. Energy stored in a capacitor is half CV square. Energy stored in an inductor is half Li square. So we have derived these equations. We have learned only the energy dissipated by a capacitor, which is I square R. So energy dissipated means when can that happen? When it has the tendency to only utilize the amount of energy given to it. Okay. So that is why if you see, power is always utilized by a purely resistive circuit. So resistive circuit can only make use of the power. If the power is flowing from the source to the load, this kind of a power is called as active power. Are you guys able to understand? So if there is a device which can send back the power to the load, then that power is called as reactive power. Okay. So which devices have the tendency to have reactance?
Capacitor and inductor.
Capacitor and an inductor. So what exactly happens is, now concentrate, you will understand what is the meaning of lagging and leading. So when I connect an AC source like this, let me take a positive half cycle. So positive, negative. Okay. So I'm talking only about the positive half of the cycle. So what is a property of a capacitor? If I ask you basically, what does a capacitor do? It stores charge within itself. So it has the tendency to store the charge in the form of electric field. So if I have to define the concept of potential difference across the plates of the capacitor, when will there be a potential difference existing between the plates of the capacitor? So what do you mean by potential difference? So when each plate is going to have a different potential, And if you are able to establish a mathematical relation between them in terms of difference, we call it as potential difference. So when will the capacitor have potential difference? Only when it is charged. Accepted? So when it is charged only, it can have the concept of potential difference. So during the positive half of the cycle, what will happen is, when you're connecting it across a potential source, first the capacitor will get charged. So first the capacitor is getting charged due to whom? Due to the amount of current that is flowing to it. Only after it is getting charged, there is an EMF established across its ends. And that is why if you see in a purely capacitive circuit, current, why is the current leading? Because the current which is sent, it is first utilized for charging, and then only comes the concept of potential difference. So that is the meaning of leading. Okay. Whereas in the case of an inductor, what will happen? So let's recollect the functionality of an inductor. What does an inductor do? Are you guys there?
It opposes the rate of change of current.
It opposes the rate of change of current. Okay. Now, what will happen? See, it is able to oppose the rate of change of current due to the concept of change of flux. Am I right? So when during the positive half cycle, what will happen is, let's say when the current is trying to increase, what will happen across the ends of an inductor? There will be something called as a back EMF that will get generated.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So first, what is getting established? So this back EMF is the one which is responsible for the current to flow through this inductor. Okay. So try to understand the difference. When you connect a source, an AC source across a capacitor, first charge is developed, then the potential difference is established. That is why the current is leading the voltage. Whereas in this case, what is happening? First, the back EMF is getting generated and the current starts flowing. So the voltage is leading the current by pi by 2. Are you guys able to understand? By how much angle that we got it mathematically? Are you guys able to understand this point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You are able to visualize slightly. Let's see, this is actually a tough concept, but I'm trying to put it, try to simulate at some point. But you're able to get some picture out of it. You're able to understand. You're able to visualize what is lagging and leading mean.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Okay. So did you guys understand what you mean by active?
Sir,
Yeah,
Ashish is waiting outside.
Who?
Ashish.
He was there, no? Yeah. I'm not able to see. Ashish, he was there in the class, no? 1 minute. Ask him to join again. Deekshita.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So did you people understand? You're able to visualize what do you mean by active power, right? So did you understand what do you mean by reactive power?
Sir, in that reactive power, the back power to the source only, no, sir. You have written load.
It can send back. Sorry. That's what we call it as reactive power. Correct? You have and reactive power. So power is possible for which device? It's for a purely resistive device. Okay. So if I take this as the active power, then if you observe, the reactive element will always be perpendicular to the active element. And as the reactive power, then if I join these two, okay, this is what is called as an apparent power. So what are the three powers? Active power, reactive, and apparent power. So if I take this angle as phi, then how can I define cos phi as?
Active by
Active power
Active
by
power
reactive.
divided by apparent power.
Active power divided by the apparent power. Okay. So let me explain what is the meaning of this. If you look at all the electrical devices at our home, what will happen is you cannot make all the electrical devices using only resistor. You definitely need to have either a capacitor or an inductor combined along with whom? Along with the resistor. That is why we are learning about RL circuits and all those things. Did you people have ever hear about a choke coil? See, nowadays we have LED lights at our home. So previously there used to be tube light which used to have a small box like this at the back. Did you guys ever see that? So once they fix the tube light, they will try to rotate it. Did you guys see that or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, even if you have not seen, what you do is Google it today and see. So not now, okay. Choke coil is nothing but an RL circuit. So generally, this resistor and inductor put together will be used in the choke coil. So like this, if you look at all the electrical devices at our home, you will have different combinations of resistor or capacitor, resistor and inductor, or all the three together. So you'll have something like this. So since both the elements are coming, that is an active, I cannot call it as an active element. Since both active power and reactive power are involved in the circuit, there will always be an apparent power existing. If I call the active power as P and the reactive power as Q, then the apparent power is given by the formula root of P square plus Q square. Okay, so have this in your mind. Now listen. If suppose I have a circuit like this, a resistor and an inductor. So if I take this as R and this as L, and this is the potential source that I have E0 sine omega t, then here the current will be IR and here the current will be I into XL. This we know, right? Right. So if I ask you what is going to be the power across these circuits, it is going to be, so the power across the circuit will be I square into R, and the power across this particular element will be I square into XL. Can I say it like this? Okay. Now see, this element will have the active power and this element will have the reactive power, right? But the combination of these two will have what power?
Apparent power.
It will have apparent power, right? That is what we have been seeing. That apparent power is coming from the formula Z is equal to root of R square plus XL square. Can I write it like this? So Z is equal to root of R square plus XL square. This you know. What does Z stand for?
impedance.
This will be
Impedance.
Impedance, and R is the resistance, XL is the reactance, right? If I multiply with I square on both the sides, okay.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
This is okay. So if I multiply with I square on both the sides, then this is what is called as the apparent power. Are you guys able to understand this point? So if I say cos phi is equal to active power divided by apparent power, now tell me what will be the formula here. So active power, what is it? I square into R. What is the apparent power?
I square Z.
I square Z. You cancel these two. Cos phi is defined as R divided by Z. So what does R stand for? The resistance divided by the impedance. So, but what is cos phi according to us? The cosine of the phase difference between the cosine of the phase difference from the impedance triangle is what is called as the power factor. Right? Are you guys able to till this point? Yes or no?
Yes,
Till here, is it clear? So there are two formulae for cos phi. What is that? So what did we see in the previous class?
Or by
Sorry, same thing, no? So it is cos phi is equal to R divided by Z. Here also I have derived the same thing. But this R divided by Z gives you the resistance divided by impedance, and the other formula is active power divided by apparent power, and this is the accurate definition. If you ask me why this R by Z has actually come, it has come only because of this. Okay. So see, this actually power factor, you can see it in your, you have a meter outside your home to measure how much units you have consumed every month. Or you can see it on an everyday basis, right? You have an electric meter outside your house. So in that, one of the parameters will be PF. The PF stands for the power factor. Okay, let me explain it again. So if I say the power factor is 0.75, what is the meaning of this? So if I say power factor is 0.75, the meaning of this is out of the 100% current that is supplied by the load, 75% is utilized as what power?
Active power.
That doesn't mean. Means out of the 100% sent, 75% is utilized by the resistor. And what do the other two devices do? Will they dissipate any power across them? So what is the average power dissipated by an inductor and a capacitor?
0.
It is 0. Means they do no useful work. What is their job? What is the job of an inductor and capacitor in the case of all these AC circuits? Their work is only to store the energy and give it back. They store and give it back, give energy at all. Okay, that kind of a current is what is called as wattless current. So this is what they've removed from your syllabus. This just a single word, that's it. Are you guys able to understand what is wattless current? Wattless, why we say wattless is WATT is power, powerless current. They don't consume any power. So which devices do not consume power? It is the inductor and the capacitor. That is reactive elements. Now you are able to understand every point. Did you guys understand what do you mean by lagging and leading?
Sir, inductance
Even,
means
see, at least
reactive, sir.
Inductance is a reactive element. No, that is why it has reactance.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So reactive power is established by which elements? Inductor and capacitor. Active power is by the resistor. So I hope these. I'll ask you a few questions. Tell me if these points are clear. Did you understand what is lagging and leading? So I am sure you would have. Even if you're not able to understand 100%, just let me know. At least you're able to visualize it. You could at least try to visualize what it is. Did you understand what is lagging and leading and why it is happening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you understand what is active power, reactive power? These three
Yes,
are.
sir.
You're able to understand what they are? Okay. Are you able to understand the definition of cos phi and its significance when I told you this 0.75 as an example?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Can
these
you
are all the
explain that
concepts.
bit alone again? The cost
Which one?
0.75.
0.75 means if you give 100% energy to a particular device, I'm talking, let's say you have a fan at home, only fan is running in your home, you go and look at the electricity meter. Okay, if suppose the power factor keeps fluctuating, if at all the power factor at that instant is showing us 0.75, the of that is 100% current that you're trying to send, 75% is the active power, the remaining 25% is utilized only to store and send it back. From where? From your fan. Okay, I'm saying for a testing purpose.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
75% is going to be active power, the remaining 25% is going to be reactive power. See,
Okay.
actually, the one which I've explained you now is an engineering level concept. Okay, so I'm not expecting you to understand 100%, but it's just an attempt from my side to make you visualize that. So, okay, try to put some effort to understand, you will definitely understand at some point. Is that clear? So, with respect to your exam, what you need to know is, with respect to your exam, if you know the definition that cos phi is equal to active power by apparent power, that is more than sufficient. Secondly, you should know this formula. What is it? ERMS into IRMS into, where is it? ERMS into IRMS cos phi. Okay, so these two are the important points. So this is all about, yeah, tell me.
Sir, is this 0.75 only for a particular device or for the entire circuit?
It is for the entire circuit. You will have many electrical components at home. No? I'm saying when I told that example, I told, let's say only fan is running in your house and you're going and looking at the electricity meter of your house. That time, whenever you observe, if at all you say the power factor is coming as 0.75, that time I'm trying to say that 75% is utilized as active power and the remaining 25 is going to be reactive power. That is the meaning. That's it. It has something to do with the efficiency of that particular supply.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If I go beyond this, it will confuse you. Don't let's leave it. Okay. Now, let us discuss about an RC series circuit. So, are you guys clear with what is RL series circuit? So now let's see what is this RC series circuit. So you have a resistor and a capacitor. A resistor and a capacitor connected like this. Okay. So current is going to flow through this. So what is going to be common between both I and here also I? So the other day we drew it. If the current is in this direction, what will be the direction of the potential difference across resistor? It will be the same because they both are in same phase, right? So if the current is like this in the capacitor, then what will be the direction of potential difference? Will it be down or up?
Up.
Down.
Up.
It will be down because potential has to lag, no? Current is leading.
Okay.
So VC and this is I, right? So when you try to draw the phasor diagram, what do you get? One minute. So when you try to draw a phasor diagram, wait. So if I take this to be VR, okay? If this is taken as VR, then what will be the direction of VC? VC, will it be in the second quadrant or in the fourth quadrant? Look at the directions. No, VR, VC.
Second
Quadrant.
It will be the fourth quadrant, like this. Right? Is this giving?
Sir, how is it fourth quadrant, sir?
Because VR is like this, VC is down. No?
Okay, sir.
See, I'll do one thing. Okay, for you guys to visualize, okay, let me do a small attempt. 1 minute. So this is VR, this is IR, right? This is I and this is VC. VC and I, this is I and VR, okay? If I take this VR, I keep it here. If I take this VC and keep it here, how are they?
Perpendicular.
They are perpendicular and VC is?
Lagging.
VC is downward. So what I did with respect to the graph is, if this is taken as x-axis and this is taken as y-axis, some issue, wait. Now, if I take VR like this, if it is rotated in this way, then VC should be rotated in this way by how much angle?
90.
In such a way that the angle between them is
90 degree.
90. Is it
Okay,
clear?
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
that is why the diagram is like this. Sorry, when I'm using it for the first time, so I couldn't do it fast. But I hope you're clear, right? I didn't confuse you.
Yes, sir.
No, right? Okay. Now tell me, what will be the value of ERMS? This is very simple. After this, you know. So what is going to be the value of ERMS? So ERMS will be equal to
Root
root of
VR square plus
VR square plus VC square. So what is VR square? It is I into XC square. So this is the value of ERMS. But ERMS is IRMS into Z. So this will be I into root of R square plus XC square. I and I will get cancelled. What will be the value of Z? Root of R square plus XC square. So by now you would have understood how these formulae are coming. So they'll be similar. It is easy to remember. Right? So in the previous case, what happened? It was root of R square plus X
L square.
L square. Here it is XC square. That's it. Okay. We saw what phi is equal to. So phi is still made by the ERMS with respect to whom? With respect to VR. Right. So what is tan phi equal to? It is VC divided by VR. What is the value of VC? It is I into XC divided by I into R. This and this will get cancelled. Tan phi will be equal to XC divided by R. But what is cos phi equal to?
R by Z.
The same R by Z only. R by what will you get? You will get root of XC square plus R square. So this will be R divided by Z. So you can remember this cos phi is equal to R by Z, that we solve half of the problems. Right, can I proceed to the next one?
Yes, sir.
So we have finished series RC and series RL. So the one which is important in your syllabus is series LCR circuit. We are almost at the end of this chapter. Maximum next class we'll finish it. So it is series LCR circuit. So what is it you're going to have? You're going to have a resistor, a capacitor, and an inductor connected across whom? Connected across an AC source of EMF E0 sin omega t. This is R, C, and L. Clear? Now tell me, the current is going to be the same across R. So I'm going to use those arrow marks. Now tell me, this is I and this is VR. Accepted. This is I and this is VC. This is I and this is going to be VL. Correct? So what is it we need? So I'm taking a phasor diagram. Okay. In that phasor diagram, I'm bringing this VR and keeping it here. So VR has come. Now what about VC?
Fourth quadrant.
Fourth quadrant.
Correct. Now how will VL be? So VL is going to come like right. So here, till the previous case, what was happening? We had only two vectors, so it was not an issue. Now we have three. Right. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make this VC turn like this and get combined with this. So through how much angle have I rotated?
180 degrees.
Minus. So can I say there it is minus VC? When any vector is rotated through 180 degrees, it is going to be minus VC. So it's going to be VL. But the only fact is we don't know whether VL is greater or VC is greater. That is not our concern as of now. I've just tried to make a rotation. If you want, you can rotate VL also towards VC and do the same thing. It's up to you. Okay. Now, if I take this to be the effective value, ERMS, then ERMS will be equal to what? The root of VR square plus VL minus VC, the whole square.
Sir, Adit is waiting outside.
Aditya, he was there, Noda.
He just his internet connection.
Ask him to come in. So VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square, right? So this will be VR square is nothing but IR the whole square plus I into XL C the whole square. This will be I into Z, right? So Z will be equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Okay. So it will be root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Then what is tan phi? Phi is always the angle made by the resultant with the resistance. So what is tan phi? It is VL minus VC divided by VR. What is the value of VL? So I'll write it again. Tan phi VL minus VC divided by VR. It is I into XL minus XC divided by I into R. I and I will be gone. It is XL minus XC the whole divided by R. Cos phi, the same R goes. Is this clear? So this is
Yes,
all
sir.
about a series LCR circuit. Okay. So the next few concepts that are left out are resonance and quality factor. Then we need to know about a transformer. So let me check in your syllabus if transformer is there or not. I think they have removed it. And since there is an independent topic, I might skip it also. Okay, but resonance and quality factor I'll explain. With this, 95% of the chapter is over. Okay. So is there any doubt from today's class?
No, sir.
All right. Okay. I've already shared an assignment 3. So AC3 assignment is based on RL series circuit. The next one that I will share is based on RLC series circuit. RLC series circuit and the concept of power factor. Try to solve them. If there are any doubts, let me know. I'll solve it in the next class and we'll finish this chapter. Okay. If there are no doubts, we can wind up. Just give me a minute.